Hello YouTube, this is Shadow again with another Marvel Legends figure review, and here we're taking a look at the Marvel Legends Absorbing Man Build-A-Figure Wave. Took me a while to acquire these figures, and they've been sitting in the closet for a while. So as usual with my reviews, we're going to just, I'm going to do the unboxing after, and then we'll review, and then I'll just have some brief thoughts on all these, being that it's going to take a while to upload the video to YouTube, and there's 7 figures here. So I think we'll just do a short video and just give you the highlights of the best figures and the features from this wave. Alright, hope you enjoy the review. Alright, first, let's take a look at the Spider-Verse SpiderGwen. This is Gwen Stacy as Spider-Man, or Spider-Girl, you should say, whatever, Spider-Woman. I think this is one of the highlights of the set. Really nice character here, and also design. Very unique looking, which I appreciate. Some of the joints here are kind of stiff, but really unique. Let's see if I can get if you just look at the head sculpt and the mask, face is really cool. There's painted detail inside the hoodie. It's pretty nice. And I also like that it comes with the ability to switch the head with the hood down, and then you could put the Gwen Stacy head, which I think I actually prefer a lot. And I think this actually suits the figure even more, improves it a little bit. And there you go, just a nice look at Gwen Stacy as SpiderGwen. Really cool figure. Nice hair sculpt. Again, usually with the plasticky glossiness on the face and the body, but other than that, if you can get one with good paint, I would definitely recommend this figure. This is my number 2 pick of figure for my the wave, and here we have the symbiote Venom Eddie Brock figure here. I think this is the Hyperion body. Really cool design. This is the classic 90s Venom symbiote design, and it's a figure everybody's been wanting for a long time, including me. And you take a look at a few things with this figure. First of all, the figure stands pretty, like, it's a little bigger, I think, than your average Spider-Man, but not that big. And I think that's a little inaccurate. I think he should be a little bit taller, a little bit more, even more hulky. I think they got certain aspects of the sculpt right. It's sculpted really well. There's musculature everywhere. But I think the way the shoulders look, they're a little small, and they just don't come up enough. It makes the neck look small, which looks very, like, disproportionate to the rest of the body. Just looks kind of off. It's just something off about that right there. I think it's more than that. I think it's the neck being small. So if the neck was a little bit bigger, maybe the head would be bigger. It would suit it more, or it just sits too high off the body. So we could take this. This figure also comes with interchangeable heads as well, and we get the classic sort of Venom with the tongue out look. Compared to the other head here, I just like the way this looks a little bit more. The teeth are a little too small, kind of look almost like a whale, or like baby teeth or something. It's just something off about that. It's not menacing to me. And I like the expression in the head. The only thing with mine, it's hard to see on camera, the black paint did this sort of swirling effect at the top, so that's a big knock on this, but I think the tongue here creates some volume. It makes the head look a little bit bigger, so it shortens that neck, so it hides it a little bit better, so it doesn't look as bad actually. A few other problems with this is that this figure is basically done in all black, and the only thing Hasbro had to do is basically paint this white design, which is the alien symbiote design, and mine has a few chips of like blacks and stuff coming out and fuzziness around the edges, and it's just not as perfect or clean as it should be. Bring this up a little bit more. It just gets fuzzy around the edges. It's not sharp and clean, and that's kind of a big problem for me. So I think if you can get one that's painted well, I think you have a good figure here. But I would only recommend this if you're a fan of Venom, Spider-Man, symbiotes, and that sort of thing. Then pick this up. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, now if you swap the head from the other head, which I'm pretty sure this is the exact same head as the Pizza Spider-Man head, and then you just swap it with the Spider Carnage head that came pictured here and in the package, and then you swap maybe one of his claw hands, now you basically have now created Spider Carnage, which is really cool. So it's almost like getting pardon the flipping hand, but because it does come with a second one here, but you basically have now created a second character from the Spider-Man universe, which is pretty cool. So it actually gives you reasons to play with the character and do really cool poses and stuff like that, and actually incentive to buy a second one so that you can have a Spider Carnage and you can have a Pizza Spidey / Ben Reilly Spider-Man. So I would definitely recommend this figure. This is probably my favorite of the set. This figure can do pretty much everything you want. It crunches down really well. The articulation is good. It's there. The paint is pretty good, unique, except for like for mine, I had some sloppiness on the back of my leg on both of them. It seems like down here they molded the character in plastic, in blue plastic, so they threw the red on here. So the red here is a little different than the parts where they molded it in red at the top, I think, like in the shoulders. So you have parts that are glossy and the parts that are not so much because the plastic is different. And you look down here, there's just something about the way they did the pattern is just not clean at all, and the pattern ends kind of sloppily down here, so it's kind of a disappointment. But it may not be the case on your figure, so I wouldn't tell you not to get this figure just based on paint alone. Just try to find a good one if you can buy it in person and then look at the figure yourself. But if you're a fan of Spider-Man, for sure get this. And I actually recommend, just like with the Gwen Stacy, buying maybe two, because you can pose them differently in different ways. Alright, now here we go. Take a look at the rest of the figures in the wave. So we've already covered Gwen Stacy. We have Speed Demon here. Pretty good, same figure as the Spider-Man. We have Morbius and Jack-O-Lantern. Pretty cool villains, unique, but I don't really care for them too much. I got them for the Build-A-Figure parts, but I would say good quality figures. So yeah, also we have Beetle, Spider-Man, and Venom here at the end, which all three of them I would recommend as pretty good. The Beetle is basically a redo of Wasp that came out of a comic book version of Wasp pretty recently with some additional sculpt and paint on her, but similar body to Gwen, but I think a different top. So if you're a fan of the character, then I would also recommend her too. But otherwise, this is pretty much the wave. And let's take a look at the Build-A-Figure Absorbing Man. Alright, here we've assembled the parts for Absorbing Man from the Build-A-Figure. from the wave of the 7 characters. So we're just going to go and we're just going to resume by building him, the figure, together. All right. Wow, that was pretty rough. So here we have Absorbing Man, who's pretty tall. I like the size of the figure. It's actually massively impressive. He's maybe a good 2 inches, full 2 inches taller than maybe like the Gwen and the Venom figures. So what we have here is Absorbing Man. He's a Marvel villain. Basically absorbs whatever he touches and takes their qualities to his body. So here we have some nice metal work, which is really good. I think it's well done. Of sort of like weathering, painting to like show that effect of him like touching something that looks metal or steel. Really cool. And this is him with his normal left arm. The body seems a little bit over sculpted. He just has like muscles just popping everywhere. So I could have dealt with less of that, but some people like that, and I appreciate what they did here. His head is ob-shaped, like a cone head almost, like really weird, but that might be part of the character. I don't really know him too well. I've seen him in a few comic books. And he has a belt that can move, and it's detailed pretty nicely. And he has these purple pants with stripes, black boots. So all in all, pretty cool. He comes with also this accessory, which is like a wrecking ball. Unfortunately, this is not painted. So it'd been really nice if they had painted this so that the effect of the metal that's on his arm would continue to the ball, or rather the reverse, so it shows like he's touching the wrecking ball and he's getting his power from there. So that's unfortunate. But maybe, I could paint this myself. But what's also cool is that if you swap the head off and you put this other head on, boy, it's so tough. We have this expression head, which is really cool, where half of his face is sort of like morphing into, like, I believe concrete, if I'm right. So if I could take this arm off and I could put this one on, you can now have that effect of like concrete or like stone or something. And it has a different, the paint on top of it is so kind of like thick. It has a different texture than the smooth part of the regular plastic around the body. So it actually does feel different, which is cool. It's really, really nice artistic, sculpting and paint work here. This is like really well done. And I kind of like this face even more. It just looks very like intense. So this arm is one of the arms that came with the Morbius figure, I believe. Oops. Put this one back on. And then you can take this arm off, and you drop this arm into the peg hole. And now we have another arm here, which is supposed to represent, I guess, wood or like a tree or something, or dirt. And his arm is sort of like changing and morphing into that too, which is really cool. So he really looks like this really strong, powerful character that, nobody wants to mess with here. And I really like that about him. Just for quick comparison, in relation to the size of Spider-Man, Spider-Man's about this tall, about 6 inches. This figure, like I said, easily is about 8 in height, and I think it's fairly appropriate in terms of size and scale. He looks like an intimidating villain. I think that's really cool. So, all in all, with the other characters we had in the wave, like Venom, like Spider-Man, and Gwen, I like to throw her in there. I think we have a pretty good wave overall. I know this wasn't the greatest review, but yeah, I just wanted to put this out there and get these opened, and they can go on my shelf and whatever. So, yeah, thanks again for watching and tuning in. I have more figures to unbox. I have some Civil War figures. And let me see, and some Power Rangers figures, but I'm still waiting on the yellow Trina Mighty Morphin figure to come out. So when she does, then we'll do an unboxing of that on the channel. And maybe put Beetle in here. I think Beetle's cool. So again, thanks for watching. Give me a comment, like, subscribe to the channel for more figure reviews and content. I do gaming stuff, and some Let's Plays, and just some other commentaries and stuff like that. So if you want to see more of that type of stuff, be sure to follow me further for that. So until the next video, peace.